Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited today as I was able to pick up the newest Trackmaster engines for the Construction series, being the Construction Crew Thomas and Terence pack and the Wreck and Roll Carly pack. These engines were released incredibly early, as supposedly these trains are based on episodes of All Engines Go Season 4. Personally, this doesn't really bother me, as I don't even like the show. I just collect the trains, and these seem to be some pretty good variants. So, without further ado, let's take a look at these new engines. Right off the bat, you may have noticed that the packaging of these engines has been changed yet again. What is this, like the 5th time they've done that? From what I've seen, they changed the following on the box art. The old motorized logo that was on both the top and bottom of the box has been replaced with the new one and is on the side of the box in front of the engine. The name of the item is more centered on the box, and a new Thomas barcode was placed beside it. Both designs keep the original barcode at the bottom. The character art of the engine in the pack was moved to the top of the box rather than being on the front. The Fisher-Price logo has been moved to the top of the Thomas & Friends logo. The right side of the box just has the Thomas logo, and the left side has another character promo as opposed to the original, which has the character promo on the right side of the box and a picture of Thomas, Percy, and Nia on the left side. And the back of the box no longer has a picture of the character in the pack. There's just an All Engines Go logo instead of it and the character art. Not sure what the point of the changes were, but I guess I do kind of like the new packaging. Anyway, that's enough rambling about the box. You're here to see the engines. The Thomas pack has most of my interest, so let's take a look at that one first. And here's Thomas. Wow, this actually looks really good. The first thing that really caught my attention with this version of Thomas was the colors. This is probably my favorite thing about the engine. The blue and yellow look fantastic together and really pop. If Mattel decided to go with any other color than the blue, I probably wouldn't like it as much. The hazard stripe pattern inside the lining is really nice as well. Great theming on this engine. The thing that really pulls the whole design together is the dirt and dust weathering on the sides of the engine. This is a construction version of Thomas, so it would only make sense to add this detailing. Again, the theming on this item is really strong, and I'm happy that Mattel didn't skip out on the details. Well, for the most part. I'd say that it would have been nice if they added detail on the boiler, but it's not that bad. Also, mine seems to have a print error with the boiler bands. It looks really cheap and kind of bothers me. Okay, so I know I just said that the colors were my favorite part, but my other favorite thing about this version of Thomas is the face. That face is fantastic. I love the expression, and the dirt makes it look like Thomas has claw marks on his face. Really gives off Mad Max vibes. Overall, I really like this version of Thomas. It looks super unique to the other 1 million versions that Mattel keeps making for the motorized range, and might be my favorite version too. Good job, Mattel. You made something cool. Moving on to the rolling stock Thomas comes with, the first wagon is the flatbed that has Terence the tractor. So this is probably what most fans are excited for, as this is the first merchandise Terence has gotten for the reboot. And, well, I'm slightly disappointed with the quality. It's not like the plastic feels cheap or anything, no. It's when we compare it to the CGI version, that's when you notice the difference. Yeah, so they totally skipped out on painting all the details. Like, why isn't the smokestack or engine painted? They did it for the CGI one, so why not here? It's honestly really disappointing that they chose to skip out on the detail, as it would have lifted the item a whole lot more. Aside from the face being different, the bottom of the chassis is actually a new mold and is dated 2024. I was really surprised by this, and now that I think about it, since they updated the mold from 2020, why didn't they include the plow that Terence has in the show? From what I've seen, he always has it, so it's weird that they didn't include it, but whatever, it's a cheap toy. Thankfully, Terence still has a coupling, so he can pull wagons around. To match with Thomas, Terence also features the yellow construction colors. However, I feel like the orange and yellow don't pop as well. They are both bright colors, and I feel like a darker color would have looked a lot nicer. Maybe like a gray or something. As for the face, I think it looks really good. Look how happy he is. Super cute. Though it is kind of annoying that Mattel made an exclusive version of the character that doesn't even have a regular release. This is literally the motorized version of Sandy all over again. Hopefully Mattel will go back and make a regular version, but to be honest, I don't think All Engines Go is going to be around for much longer, so this version will have to do. And the last truck in this pack is another flatbed. Like, seriously, the All Engines Go stuff is so oversaturated with these trucks. Like, okay, I understand including one of these flatbeds because Terence has to go on something, but the other rolling stock that they chose was another flatbed? Literally any other rolling stock would have been more interesting, like a hopper truck, troublesome truck, box van, or even a tanker truck. Like, I guess the cargo is good, it's okay quality, but this is a really boring wagon. And that was the Construction Crew Thomas and Terence pack. I love the Thomas, and Terence is a great inclusion, but the rolling stock is really boring. If this was just the Thomas engine and Terence, I would easily give it like a 9 out of 10. But with the trucks, this is an 8 out of 10. Still really good, but could have been better. Moving on to the next engine, here's the Wreck 'n' Roll Carly pack. Everything on the box artwork is the same as the Thomas pack, but instead is themed for Carly. Not much else to say about the box, so let's get the engine and trucks out. And here's Carly. So, unlike the Thomas pack, this one goes for a different style. Instead of a construction theme like Thomas, Carly was given this really awesome looking rust detail. While this isn't really construction themed per se, it is still visually very interesting. I really like that it looks like the paint on the engine is peeling off and you can see the bare metal underneath. This is a really nice effect and, like Thomas, makes this a very unique version of the character. Though I do think that they should have added a little more rust weathering. The silver and yellow go well together too. The printing quality seems to be good, but on the roof there are some scratches in the molding. Not very happy about that. The face is good, but there's not much to say about it. But that's not all for the engine, as Carly comes with an exclusive crane arm that has a wrecking ball on the end. The crane arm has the silver and yellow paint to match Carly, and has the same posability as the original one too. It can go up and down and can extend from 2 different places on the crane base. I really love the fact that the wrecking ball is connected with a chain link, as it's really fun to swing around. Although I'd recommend keeping the crane extended, as when it's in the original spot on the engine, it covers the face, which I don't really like. But yeah, anyway, it's way more fun when the crane arm is fully extended, as you can swing the wrecking ball around and crash into other engines. That's pretty fun. Overall, a pretty good version of Carly. Definitely the best one, but there isn't many versions either way. Next up is the rolling stock, and the first truck is the one that carries Carly's crane in the packaging. I thought that it was going to be the same one that came with the regular and muddy versions of Carly, but it's actually a new mold. I was really surprised by this, and I really like that they did that. It kinda looks like those plastic wagons from the Take and Play range. really cool. And the last piece of rolling stock is, well, I actually have no idea what this is supposed to be. It looks nothing like a railway wagon and looks more like a car or truck of some sort. It doesn't even really look like it's from Thomas to begin with. The plastic used to make it is good and has some alright detail, but it just doesn't look like it's something from Thomas, and I think that's a problem. Honestly, looking at the whole train, it doesn't really look like a train. Carly's design in the reboot is one of the most flawed ones, as she doesn't even look like a train, and this is what upsets me about All Engines Go. Why does Mattel feel the need to make these trains not be trains? This wagon doesn't even look like a Thomas item. It looks like a truck from the dollar store. Anyway, you can attach the crane arm to the truck, which is cool, I guess, and if you have the regular motorized Carly, you can add the crane to it as well, which is nice. Oh, and you can also remove the top of the wagon, so you can make the truck just a boring flatbed. Isn't that nice? Overall, I do really like the detail on the engine. It looks really nice, and the wrecking ball is really fun too. But this just doesn't feel like Thomas the Tank Engine. 5 out of 10. And that was my review on the Construction, Thomas, and Carly engines. Overall, I think that these are pretty fun items. There's definitely room for improvement, but for what it is, Mattel did an adequate job. Of course, my favorite of the two engines is the Thomas pack, but maybe you think Carly is better, or maybe you like both. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!